Bernard Hill, the captain, went down with his ship. The villain beside him spent a lifetime proving he was nothing like the role. And the granddaughter? She ended up more connected to this film than anyone. Bernard Hill played Captain Edward Smith, the man at the helm when the ship went down. He brought gravity and humanity to a historical figure in just a handful of scenes. Bernard Hill holds a record that may never be broken. He starred in both Titanic and The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, the only two films to each win exactly 11 Academy Awards and both becoming billion-dollar blockbusters. He is the only actor in history to appear in two such films. Bernard Hill passed away on May 5, 2024, at the age of 79. His passing prompted tributes from both the Titanic and Lord of the Rings communities worldwide. Two ships, two legends, one unforgettable actor. The captain went down with dignity. The man who played his villain? He spent 6 decades proving there was nothing cold about him at all. David Warner. David Warner played Lovejoy, the cold, efficient muscle behind Cal's cruelty. He brought menace to every scene he was in and made Jack's escape scenes genuinely tense. Warner had one of the longest and most varied careers in British acting, spanning stage, film, television and voice work across 6 decades. He was beloved by younger actors for his generosity and mentorship. David Warner passed away in July 2022 after a long illness. He was 80 years old. His career remains a masterclass in character acting. From Titanic villains to Shakespearean kings. One villain, gone. But the woman who played the smallest role in this entire film, she ended up the most connected to it of anyone. Suzy Amis. Suzy Amis was 35 years old when she played Lizzie, the granddaughter who brings elderly Rose to the Titanic wreck site. Before acting, she had been a Ford model and had already appeared in The Usual Suspects. It was a small role, but what happened because of it changed her entire life. In 2026, Suzy Amis is 64 years old with an estimated net worth of $25 million, though much of that is tied to her husband, James Cameron. Here is the plot twist no one saw coming. Suzy Amis met James Cameron on the set of Titanic. Cameron was married to Linda Hamilton at the time. By 2000, Cameron and Hamilton divorced, and Cameron married Suzy Amis. The actress who played the granddaughter of the story's heroine became the wife of the man who made the entire film. Suzy Amis walked away from acting entirely in 1999. She co-founded Muse School in California, a 100% plant-based, solar-powered, zero-waste school. She published a vegan cookbook called the OMD Plan. She co-founded the Plant Power Task Force with Cameron. The actress became an environmentalist, educator, and activist. She lives with James Cameron between California and New Zealand, running a sustainable farm. She never looked back at Hollywood. And somehow she ended up more connected to Titanic than anyone else in the cast. The granddaughter married the director, Jack's best friend. He couldn't stop dying, at least on screen, Danny Nucci. Danny Nucci was 28 years old when he played Fabrizio, Jack's energetic, loyal Italian friend who wins his Titanic ticket in a card game. The role came at the peak of his career. In just 20 months between 1996 and 1997, Nucci appeared in 3 massive blockbusters: The Rock, Eraser, and Titanic. He was everywhere. In 2026, Danny Nucci is 57 years old with an estimated net worth of $2 million. Here is something remarkable. In all 3 of those blockbusters, The Rock, Eraser, and Titanic, his character was killed on screen. 3 massive films, 3 deaths. The man could not catch a break in fiction, even when he was winning in real life. After Titanic, Nucci built a steady television career. He starred as Mike Foster in The Fosters on Freeform from 2013 to 2018, and has appeared in 911 and various independent projects. He still attends fan events where his Titanic stories remain in constant demand. 3 deaths. One man who kept coming back. Next, a man history never forgave. And Jonathan Hyde made sure audiences didn't either. Jonathan Hyde was 49 years old when he played J. Bruce Ismay, the real-life chairman of the White Star Line who pressured the captain to sail faster and then quietly slipped into a lifeboat while hundreds drowned around him. History never forgave the real Ismay, and Jonathan Hyde made sure audiences didn't either. Here is a remarkable coincidence. The real Bruce Ismay was 49 years old when the Titanic sank in April 1912. Jonathan Hyde was also exactly 49 years old when Titanic premiered in December 1997. Of all the actors playing real historical figures in the film, Hyde was the only one who matched his character's exact age. In 2026, Jonathan Hyde is 77 years old with an estimated net worth of $3 million. Hyde never chased fame. He chased craft. After Titanic, he appeared in The Mummy and built a long television career, including a major role in the FX series The Strain. More recently, he appeared in A Gentleman in Moscow in 2024. He remains a proud member of the Royal Shakespeare Company, the same institution he joined long before Hollywood ever called. Still active in prestigious film and television, a man who played one of history's greatest cowards, and spent his real life doing the exact opposite. The coward saved himself. The quiet hero turned his boat around and went back. Ioan Gruffudd. Ioan Gruffudd was just 23 years old when he played 5th Officer Harold Lowe, the only officer who actually turned his lifeboat around and went back into the freezing water to rescue survivors. In a film full of villains and victims, Lowe was the quiet hero. And in 1997, so was Gruffudd, a completely unknown Welsh actor who walked out of Titanic with the world watching. He built one of the most varied careers in the cast. Hornblower on British TV, Lancelot in King Arthur, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. In Fantastic Four, he appeared in Bad Boys: Ride or Die in 2024 and has confirmed he would return to Marvel in Avengers: Secret Wars if invited. In 2026, Ioan Gruffudd is 52 years old. His net worth is estimated at $3 million. Though court filings from a bitter divorce revealed that at one point in 2022, he had just $2,800 in his US bank account. His divorce from actress Alice Evans became one of Hollywood's most public and painful separations. Allegations, restraining orders, and financial disputes played out entirely in the press and courtrooms for years. He married Australian actress Bianca Wallace in April 2025, and the couple are now expecting a child, rebuilding both career and personal life, working on independent projects and reportedly developing a drama set in his home country of Wales, a man who played a hero and is still trying to find his way back. Those were the names you almost remembered. Now, the ones you never knew, but should. Before we meet the actors, meet the man who wasn't one. James Cameron's real-life friend. No training, no experience, just a diving buddy who ended up in the highest-grossing film ever made. Lewis Abernathy. Lewis Abernathy was not an actor. He was James Cameron's real-life diving friend. A man who had never performed professionally before Titanic. Cameron cast him anyway, gave him 2 weeks of acting lessons, and put him in the film. He played Lewis Bodine, the tech operator who watches the footage of the Titanic wreck and calls the whole thing the best thing I've ever seen. Most of his key dialogue was improvised on set. He also contributed to the writing of Titanic's final scenes. After filming wrapped, he went back to his real life. No more acting. He has stayed close to Cameron, continued diving, and written and directed low-budget science fiction projects. Hollywood never called again, and he never seemed to mind. One man improvised his way into film history. The next didn't need improvisation. He only needed 4 words. Scott Anderson. Scott Anderson played Frederick Fleet, the lookout in The Crow's Nest, who spotted the iceberg and delivered one of the most haunting lines in cinema history. Iceberg, right ahead. 4 words. The moment everything changed. The real Frederick Fleet survived the Titanic sinking, only to take his own life 50 years later. Anderson played him with quiet dread and then moved on. He appeared in Vacancy in 2007 and alongside Johnny Depp in Black Mass in 2015. After 2019, his screen credits went silent. No social media, no public appearances. In 2026, Scott Anderson lives entirely off the radar, a working actor who delivered one of the most iconic lines in film history and then simply walked away. The man who spotted the iceberg disappeared from screens entirely. But Jack's Irish friend from Steerage? He never stopped moving. Jason Barry. Jason Barry is an Irish actor from Dublin, trained at Trinity College. He played Tommy Ryan, Jack Dawson's energetic Irish friend in Steerage, the man who dances with him below deck and fights beside him as the ship goes down. After Titanic, Barry built a steady and surprisingly varied career. He appeared in the Irish crime series Love/Hate. He did a stint on Sons of Anarchy. And here's the one nobody expects. He provided voice acting for Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The Titanic Irishman became a soldier in one of the world's biggest video game franchises. In 2003, he married actress Nicola Charles. Together they co-founded Marathon Pictures LA, a production company. They have 2 daughters. In 2026, Jason Barry is 57 years old, still acting, now directing and quietly building something on both sides of the Atlantic. One Irishman built a production company. The other lookout in that crow's nest, he built something nobody saw coming. A completely different life on a completely different island. Martin East. Martin East played Reginald Lee, the second lookout, the man standing right next to Frederick Fleet in the crow's nest when the iceberg appeared, the one history barely remembers. East was a working British TV actor through the 1990s. Titanic was his biggest credit, and then he made a decision that nobody saw coming. He quit acting entirely. Not for another film, not for theatre, for music. Martin East moved to California, became a DJ and music producer under the Kappa music label, and eventually relocated to Bali, Indonesia, where he lives today. A British actor who stood in the crow's nest of the Titanic is now spinning records on a tropical island. If that's not a then and now story, nothing is. One actor traded Hollywood for Bali. The next never chased Hollywood at all. She was too busy building something real, one project at a time. Amy Guyper. Amy Guyper played Trudy Bolt, Rose DeWitt Bukater's loyal personal maid. Small role, background presence, easy to miss. Guyper is from Michigan, a graduate of Hope College's theatre program. After Titanic, she continued working in independent film, Silver Tongue's La Vida Inesperada, while also stepping into producing and production design. She wasn't just in front of the camera, she was building things behind it. In 2023, she appeared in the documentary Ship of Dreams, Titanic Movie Diaries, returning to share her behind-the-scenes memories of the production for the first time publicly. In 2026, Amy Guyper is based in New York, active in the theatre scene, and still connected to the film that put her on screen almost 30 years ago. Some became legends, some won Oscars, some battled illness and came back stronger, some faded quietly, some died, and one moved to Bali and became a DJ. That's what Titanic did. It didn't just change cinema. If you miss part one, it's right there on the channel. Every big name, every major story. Start from the beginning. And if there's another cast you want us to break down, drop it in the comments. We read every single one. This is Staralyze, and we are just getting started.